Welcome to the Cinema Gold Show. I'm your host, Larry Lace. On today's episode, we're diving into the latest box office numbers and headlines from around the industry. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Poddex, for sponsoring this episode. Poddex is a unique tool to help you with your engagement and outreach of your podcast. Check them out today at poddex.com and use the promo code Larry21 to save you 10% off your order. And now on to today's first topic. First and foremost, Happy New Year. Here's hoping that 2023 will bring us another incredible year for motion pictures, because 2022 was pretty exceptional, especially regarding the quality of blockbusters Hollywood released during this year. I still can't believe how good Avatar: The Way of Water was, which ended the year on a more than high note. Last week, Avatar: Way of Water made $63.3 million and crossed the $1 billion club, making it the fourth film to make that amount of money during the COVID pandemic, with Spider-Man: No Way Home, Top Gun: Maverick, and Jurassic World: Dominion. This week, Avatar: The Way of Water made $63.4 million, and its numbers did not drop once. The film is on its way to being the first in the COVID era to make $2 billion. Which will be even more impressive, since for the past 13 years, we have heard that nobody cares about Avatar anymore. That should teach anyone who doubted James Cameron to stop doubting him. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever also made a considerable amount of money during the holiday week, raking in $16.3 million and $4.3 million, each making more money than in the previous week. Once schools were closed, families would flock to either one. Though I will admit that $2 billion for The Way of Water seemed like a stretch, especially with how moving-going habits have changed during the pandemic. However, it's on track to do so, which proves how much of a force James Cameron is in Hollywood. Despite nominations at the Golden Globe and Critics' Choice Awards, Babylon is still struggling. Damien Chazelle's latest, which boasts an incredible cast, only made about $2.7 million. And will likely be Paramount's biggest box office bomb of 2022. It was indeed a big ask for consumers, with a daunting 189-minute runtime, especially with another 3-hour blockbuster released around the same time that seemed safer for the average moviegoer, and mixed reviews from critics alike. However, the movie certainly has its fans, but a 3-hour film released in this era may not do well if it's not a colossal tentpole like the MCU, the DCU, Avatar, or Star Wars. RRR was the exception, but that's only because of its strong word of mouth. If you ask someone if they like Babylon, they will either tell you that it's the best movie of the year, or the worst. That's not great. Even if the movie gets many accolades via significant award ceremonies, who knows? Should the film be nominated for the Oscars, maybe audiences could flock to theaters then. But that is in a while from now, when bigger movies are getting released. So to recap the top 10, at number 1, of course, Avatar. Number 2, Puss in Boots, followed by Black Panther. Number 4 is Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Number 5 is Babylon. 6, Violent Night. 7, The Whale. Number 8, The Fabelmans. Number 9, The Menu. And number 10, Strange Worlds. Of course, these numbers come from Box Office Mojo, which you can find at boxofficemojo.com. And now on to our next topic. Grease, The Rise of Pink Ladies is coming to Paramount this year. Prepare to go back to the world of Grease with the upcoming prequel series, Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies. In the works at Paramount Plus, the series has just been given an all-new teaser by the streaming platform. The teaser highlights the stitching of one of the Pink Ladies' vests as a Grease-like tune plays along. Also noted is that Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies will be coming to Paramount this year. And while a specific date hasn't been named, the teaser says that the new series is streaming soon. Witness the rise. Grease: Rise of the Pink Ladies is coming to Paramount in 2023, the announcement read. The new series is created by Annabelle Oak from Atypical and Transparent, who also serves as a writer and showrunner. Oak is also producing alongside Marty Bowen, Eric Feig, and Alethea Jones. Jones also serves as ad director on the pilot and additional episodes. It's set 4 years before the original film. It takes viewers to a time before rock and roll ruled and before the T-Birds were the coolest in the school. It follows 4 fed-up outcasts who dare to have fun on their own terms, sparking a moral panic that will change Rydell High forever. The cast of the series was also previously announced. The series stars Marissa Davila, Cheyenne Isabel Wells, Trisha Fukuhara, Chanel Bailey, Madison Thompson, Jonathan Neves, Jason Schmidt, Maxwell Whittington Cooper, and Jackie Hoffman. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. What did you or are you planning on watching this series when it comes out? Were you a fan of Grease? Let us know. And on to our next topic. What to expect from Marvel in 2023. There's a lot coming down the pipeline for Marvel. Whether you prefer your superhero adventures to play on the big screen, streaming on your phone, or prefer good old-fashioned comic books, there's a whole lot of Marvel content headed your way in 2023. The MCU is kicking off Phase 5. Sony has new live-action and animated Spider-Man movies in the works, and Marvel is celebrating the 60th anniversary of one of the biggest franchises in the world. We're going to break down everything you can expect from Marvel this year, from movies to TV series to comics to video games. The MCU Phase 5 begins this year. 2023 is going to be a pivotal year for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It marks the start of Phase 5 and the point where the MCU shifts from introducing new heroes to laying the foundation for Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret War. It all starts with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania in February. This latest sequel not only sees a teenage Cassie Lang suit up alongside her dad as Stature, it's also the first MCU movie to feature Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror as a villain. It's by no means going to be the last time we see him. Quantumania also brings back Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, and Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet Van Dyne. Plus, Bill Murray is joining the MCU, and we're even going to meet MODOK. The next MCU movie on the docket is the final entry in the Guardians of the Galaxy series, hitting theaters on May 5th. Expect a lot of tearful goodbyes as director James Gunn bids farewell to the franchise and the MCU as a whole. Guardians Volume 3 follows Star-Lord and his dysfunctional family unit as they search for the missing Gamora, and butt heads with the brilliant mad scientist known as the High Evolutionary. This sequel will also introduce Will Poulter's Adam Warlock, though how he factors into a post-Infinity War MCU is anyone's guess. The Marvels rounds out the trio of new MCU movies in 2023, hitting theaters on July 28th. This Captain Marvel sequel teams Brie Larson's heroine with Teyonah Parris' newly super-powered Monica Rambeau and Iman Vellani's Miss Marvel. We don't know much about the plot of the Marvels yet, but we're already on board for all the inevitable scenes of Kamala geeking out over meeting her superhero idol. And now on to Disney Plus. Expect plenty more MCU series on Disney Plus over the course of 2023. Both What If and Loki are getting second seasons, with the latter exploring the fallout of Season 1's shocking finale and the death of He Who Remains. Secret Invasion drops in early 2023. Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury finally takes center stage in this dark thriller as Fury works to get to the bottom of an alien conspiracy. Alongside returning favorites like Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill, Ben Mendelsohn's Talos, and Don Cheadle's James Rhodes will also appear. Fans will also meet the rebellious Skrull Gravik and Fury's old associate Sonya Falstaff. Aliqua Cox's Echo is spinning out into her own series in 2023. Both Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk and Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock are expected to appear. making this series a perfect appetizer for the upcoming Daredevil Born Again. Dominique Thorne's Ironheart is also getting a spin-off show in 2023. Set after Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Ironheart brings Riri Williams back to her hometown of Chicago and pits her against a superhuman crook known as the Hood. And finally, we're expecting Agatha Coven of Chaos to cap off the MCU's 2023 lineup. This series stars Kathryn Hahn as Agatha Harkness and is probably the closest thing we will ever see to WandaVision Season 2. But will Wanda herself appear? We do know the series also stars Aubrey Plaza and Joe Locke, with the latter rumored to be playing an older version of Wanda's magically inclined son, Wiccan. And of course, we also see the expansion of Sony's Spider-Man universe. Sony is still in the Marvel movie business, even if Morbius didn't make the strongest case for the so-called Sony's Spider-Man universe this past year. But the good news is, the future is looking much brighter next year. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is finally arriving theaters on June 2nd. The sequel to 2018's critically acclaimed Into the Spider-Verse promises to up the ante with several more Spider heroes. That includes Issa Rae as Spider-Woman and Daniel Kaluuya as Spider-Punk. This time around, Miles and his multiversal friends are battling the Spot, though our Spider Sense tells us he isn't the only villain threatening these worlds. Don't forget, Across the Spider-Verse leads directly into Spider-Man Beyond, the Spider-Verse in 2024. Kraven the Hunter. As for Sony's live-action lineup, Kraven the Hunter is the next iconic villain to get his own live-action movie. Aaron Taylor Johnson stars as Sergei Kravinoff, with Ariana DeBose playing Calypso and Fred Hitchinger playing Sergei's half-brother Chameleon. As usual, we're not expecting Spidey himself to appear, but expect some sort of connection to the Venom and Morbius movies. And of course, the X-Men's big anniversary, 2023 marks the 60th anniversary of the original X-Men #1, and you can expect Marvel to throw plenty of love at our favorite mutants over the course of the year. That includes a heavy dose of 90s nostalgia with the debut of X-Men 97 on Disney+. This animated series picks up where the original X-Men cartoon left off more than 25 years ago. Magneto is in charge of the X-Men, and a whole host of enemies, both new and old, are looking to ruin Charles Xavier's dream. Many of the surviving voice actors are returning for the new series, which looks to be geared toward an older audience this time around. We'll find out whether it can truly recapture that 90s mojo when the series debuts in fall 2023. On the comic book side of things, Marvel is continuing to bet big on the X-Men line in 2023, with ongoing series like X-Men, Immortal X-Men, and X-Men Red, exploring the continued fallout of the huge changes brought about back in 2019's House of X and Power of X. We can expect 2 major X-Men crossovers in the early part of the year. Dark Web pits Spider-Man and the X-Men against the tag team duo of Madeline Pryor and Ben Reilly, the 2 angriest clones in the Marvel Universe. Then, Sins of Sinister jumps into the future of the Marvel U to explore what happens when the scheming scientist finally betrays the nation of Krakoa. And of course, the Fall of X. But the biggest X-Men comic of 2023 is undoubtedly Fall of X. We don't know much about Fall of X other than it's coming in the latter half of the year, but after watching the Krakoan dream slowly collapse in on itself due to infighting and betrayal, it sounds like things are about to come crashing down hard for the X-Men. Will there still be a Krakoa when the dust settles? That's not to say Marvel Comics is focused entirely on the X-Men in 2023. It's shaping up to be a transformative year for a number of long-running franchises, including Spider-Man. Once the dust of Dark Web settles, Amazing Spider-Man readers are finally going to get some answers regarding one of the biggest mysteries of 2022. What exactly did Peter Parker do to alienate his friends and loved ones? Why did Mary Jane break things off yet again? Writer Zeb Wells will be revealing all in the new year. Then, in the summer of symbiotes. There's also another Spider-Man crossover brewing for summer 2023, this time reuniting with Spidey with his old frenemy Venom. Apart from the title, Summer of Symbiotes, we don't know much about this storyline just yet, but it sounds like just a ticket for anyone who can't get enough symbiotes. Elsewhere, Jason Aaron will be wrapping up his 5-year run on the flagship Avengers series this spring. As Avengers from across the multiverse unite to take on Mephisto, that epic saga ends in April, and it's a safe bet that Marvel will be announcing a new monthly Avengers comic from a brand new creative team. We don't envy anyone who's having to follow in Aaron's footsteps. Then, Captain America Cold War, coming out early 2023. Marvel is also gearing up for Cold War, a crossover between the two Captain America books that deal with the rising threat of an organization known as the Outer Circle. Expect plenty of big developments in the months to come, including new revelations about the origins of Cap Shield and the return of Nomad. Then in January, pretty quickly, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Scarlet Witch, a new monthly series that introduces a killer new costume and a very different status quo for Wanda Maximoff. Not only is she opening her own witchcraft store, Wanda is about to join forces with the one and only Darcy Lewis, who finally makes the jump from the MCU to Marvel's comic book universe. 2023 isn't shaping up to be the biggest year for Marvel in the video game arena, but there is one big gun to keep an eye on next year. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, the sequel to Insomniac's smash hit 2018 game, is currently slated for release this fall. But as we've seen again and again in this COVID era, no release date is set in stone. While there's zero chance of Insomniac releasing their Wolverine game next year, we're hoping to get a better look at their latest Marvel project. The same goes for the other mysterious Marvel games in the pipeline, EA's Iron Man, Skydance's Captain America, and Black Panther game. Hopefully we can end the year knowing a lot more about what to expect from these major Marvel games. Which Marvel project has you most excited in 2023? What the heck is Fall of X anyway? Let us know in the comments section below. And as always, give it a thumbs up if you like our video, subscribe to the channel if you want more similar content. And yes, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And now on to our next topic, what to expect from DC, which is a very interesting thinking about topic. The heroes and villains of the DC universe are making some noise in 2023, both in movies and television. So we're going to break down every live-action DC movie and series coming your way this year. As we all know, there are many DC projects in various stages of development at any given time. So for this segment, we're focusing on the movies and shows that have an actual release date or have at least been confirmed as a 2023 release. So let's break down the good stuff. So quickly, we have Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, The Flash Season 9, Superman and Lois Season 3, Doom Patrol Season 4, Harley Quinn, A Very Problematic Valentine's Day Special, and Gotham Knights Season 1. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, the first DC movie released of 2023, will be Shazam! Fury of the Gods, hitting theaters on March 17th. The sequel once again features youngster Billy Batson and his friends who can all now supersize themselves into superpowered superheroes. And putting all that superness to the test is the villainous duo Hespera and Calypso, and a whole lot of fantastical beasts. Next up is The Flash. The Flash movie has been in development for a long time, and now it's finally going to make it to the finish line on June 16th. The trailer shows off a Flashpoint-inspired story featuring what appears to be time travel, multiple Flashes, and a Supergirl from another universe, and heavy teases for the return of Michael Keaton's Batman. Yes, actor Ezra Miller's many headline-making alleged legal issues are troubling, but they did release an apology in August 2022, and all reports indicate that the studio is determined to still release the film as planned. Then we got The Blue Beetle, featuring the Jamie Reeves version of the character is set for release on August 18th. The film was originally going to be a straight-to-streaming release on HBO Max, but was upgraded to a full-on theatrical release, which probably means a bigger budget to show off all the crazy cool things that the Blue Beetle suit can do. And the first teaser poster shows off Kajida in all its alien tech glory. Finally, a superhero movie production filled with nothing but good news. And finally, the last DC movie of 2023 is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, a sequel to the 2018 hit that earned over $1.1 billion at the global box office. Plot details are still thin, but a behind-the-scenes look at the film's production teased Arthur Curry will be getting a new supersuit, and Mira will once again be getting in on this undersea action. And as far as villains go, looks like they're going to break Aquaman's brother out of prison, and Black Manta is still seeking vengeance on Aquaman. But something tells me there's even more dangerous evil coming up from the depths. And now let's take a look at the TV shows for this year. Superman and Lois is flying into the new year with Season 3, though we don't know the release date just yet. We do know the 15-episode season will feature the introduction of the villainous organization known as Intergang. And just a heads up, Jordan Elsis, the actor who played Jonathan Kent, stepped away from the role for personal reasons. So that part was recast with actor Michael Bishop now playing the Super Son. And then we have The Flash with the 9th and final season. The final season of the long-running television series The Flash will race to our screens on February 8th. Given that pretty much all other remaining Arrowverse shows were canceled in 2022, this last season of The Flash will not only have to wrap up its own story, but also effectively act as a farewell to an entire era of DC superhero TV. Given all the heroic exploits we've seen Barry Allen and friends do so far, something tells us they're up to the task. But just be sure to bring tissues. And then on the HBO side, we got Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is already in the middle of Season 4 with Part 1 6 episodes running from December 2022 into this month. Then the show will go on a hiatus before releasing another 6 episodes for Part 2. Season 4 sends the team to the future where they must once again save the world, and they also have to deal with singing butts. Which would be a really weird thing to say about any other show, but for this one feels just right. Just try not to imagine what their breath smells like. And then we have Harley Quinn, a very problematic Valentine's Day special. While the adult animated series Harley Quinn has been renewed for Season 4, the next time we'll see the Maiden of Mischief is in February 2023 for Harley Quinn, a very problematic Valentine's Day special. We'll see how Harley and Ivy spend the couple's holiday together, and we'll get a peek at how her gang celebrates too. And given the title and, well, everything we've come to expect from this show, that will surely delight and disgust us in equal measure. Then we have the premiere season of Gotham Knights. In this new DC TV series, Gotham Knights, Batman is dead, and now it's up to his adopted son, Turner Hayes, to protect his city, along with other familiar Gotham faces like Carrie Kelly, Harper Row, and her brother Colin, Stephanie Brown, and Dula Dent. Reports say that they'll be up against Harvey Dent, as well as the Court of Owls. And before you ask, yes, the show just happens to have the same plot as the 2022 DC video game of the same name. But aside from the similarity, the two Gotham Knight projects are unrelated. The TV show is scheduled to debut sometime this year. Now, those are all the projects that are tied to some sort of release date, but there are plenty more in various stages of planning and development, so keep an eye on those shows. If you didn't see a project, or if we didn't discuss a DC project you were looking for, it may be a part of the canceled DC movies and TV shows. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below about the topics we covered. If there's anything else, you can leave it in the comment section. Give us your thoughts on the topics we covered. And if you want to support the channel, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/cinemagold. As always, thank you so much for watching and listening. We will see you next time. Take care.